Paloma Faith's daughter had asked a question. Hearing the answer broke the hearts of millions of mothers. Here's that story. It was 6:47 inches the morning when Paloma Faith's world shattered with four simple words from her 4-year-old daughter. Paloma was in her bedroom, packing a suitcase. Another tour, another city, another week away from home. She'd done this hundreds of times. It was part of the job, part of being a successful artist. Part of the sacrifice that came with the career she'd built. But this morning was different. This morning, her daughter walked into the room, still in her pajamas, holding her favorite stuffed rabbit, and asked the question that would break Paloma Faith into 1,000 pieces. "Mummy, why do you always leave? Don't you love me?" Paloma stopped folding clothes. Her hands froze midair. The room went silent, except for the sound of her own heartbeat thundering in her ears. She looked at her daughter's face. Those big eyes. Confused, hurt, genuinely questioning whether her mother loved her because her mother was always leaving. And in that moment, every defense Paloma had built, every justification about providing for her family, about following her dreams, about being a role model for working mothers crumbled to dust. Because her 4-year-old daughter didn't understand career, didn't understand ambition. Didn't understand that Mummy was leaving to perform for thousands of people, to make music that mattered, to build a legacy. All she understood was, Mummy leaves. Again, and again, and again. What happened next didn't just change Paloma Faith's life. It sparked a conversation that millions of mothers around the world had been too afraid to have, about the impossible choice between career and motherhood, about the guilt that eats you alive, about the lie that you can have it all without losing pieces of yourself along the way. This is that story. Raw, honest, devastating, and ultimately transformative. Paloma Faith had wanted to be a mother for as long as she could remember. Through all the years of struggling to make it in music, through the toxic relationships, through the IVF treatments and the miscarriages, the dream of having a child had been the light at the end of every dark tunnel. When her first daughter was born in December 2016, Paloma thought she'd finally found the missing piece, the thing that would make everything make sense, the purpose behind all the struggle. She was wrong. Not because she didn't love her daughter. She loved her with a ferocity that terrified her. Loved her so much it physically hurt sometimes. But what no one tells you about motherhood, what the Instagram posts and the celebrity magazines don't show, is that love isn't always enough. That you can love your child desperately and still feel like you're drowning, still feel like you're failing, still feel like you're being torn in two. Paloma had taken 3 months off after giving birth. 3 months that felt simultaneously like forever and not nearly long enough. 3 months of sleepless nights and endless feeding and the overwhelming terror that she was doing everything wrong. And then the calls started coming. The tour that had been postponed. The album promotion that couldn't wait any longer. The festival bookings that were too lucrative to turn down. "Just a few shows," her manager said. "Just the important ones. You can bring the baby. Lots of artists do it." So Paloma said yes. Because saying no felt like giving up on her career. Like admitting she couldn't handle both. Like proving all the people right who said women had to choose between motherhood and success. She brought her daughter on the first few tours, set up a nursery backstage, hired a nanny to travel with them, tried to breastfeed between sound checks, tried to maintain some semblance of routine in hotel rooms and tour buses. It was exhausting. More exhausting than anything Paloma had ever experienced. She was performing for thousands of people while running on 2 hours of sleep, singing about empowerment while her body was still healing from childbirth, smiling for photos while her breasts leaked milk through her costume. And the guilt, the crushing, suffocating guilt that followed her everywhere. Guilt when she was on stage because she wasn't with her baby. Guilt when she was with her baby because she was too tired to be fully present. Guilt when she enjoyed performing because shouldn't her daughter be enough? Guilt when she missed performing because wasn't her daughter supposed to be her priority now? By the time her daughter was 2, Paloma had stopped bringing her on tour. It was too hard, too disruptive. The irregular schedule was affecting the baby's sleep. The constant travel was making her irritable. It was better, everyone agreed, for her to stay home with her father, to have stability, routine, a normal childhood. So, Paloma left. For a week here, 2 weeks there, a month-long tour, a promotional trip, a recording session in LA, each time promising it would be the last time for a while, each time coming home to a daughter who seemed slightly more distant, slightly less excited to see her. She's fine, her partner would say. She's adjusting. This is just what modern families look like. But Paloma could feel it, the space growing between them, the way her daughter would cling to her father when she came home, the way she'd ask, "How long this time?" When Paloma packed a suitcase, the way she'd stopped asking Mummy to put her to bed because Mummy was never there for bedtime anyway. And then came that morning. That question. Why do you always leave? Don't you love me? Paloma knelt down in front of her daughter. Her throat was tight. Her eyes were burning. She wanted to explain, to justify, to make her 4-year-old understand the complexities of adult life, of career obligations, of financial responsibilities. But looking into those confused eyes, Paloma realized there was no explanation that would make sense to a child. No justification that would erase the simple, devastating fact that Mummy kept leaving. "I love you more than anything in the world," Paloma said, her voice cracking. "More than music, more than performing, more than anything. Then why do you go away?" "Because..." Paloma stopped, started again. "Because I thought I had to. Because people are counting on me. Because I made promises. Because..." She trailed off. Because none of those reasons mattered. Not really. Not compared to the confusion in her daughter's eyes. "I'm sorry," Paloma whispered. "I'm so sorry, baby." Her daughter didn't say anything, just stood there, hugging her stuffed rabbit, waiting for an answer that made sense. And Paloma didn't have one. 2 hours later, Paloma was supposed to be on a plane to Berlin. The start of a 3-week European tour. Sold-out venues, media commitments, sponsorship obligations. Instead, she was sitting on her kitchen floor, still in her pajamas, her phone in her hand, staring at the unsent message to her manager. "I can't do this anymore." Her partner found her there. "Paloma, the car's here. You need to go." "I'm not going." "What?" "I'm not going. I'm canceling the tour." "You can't cancel the tour. Do you know how much money—" "I don't care about the money. It's not just about money. It's your reputation, your contracts. You'll be sued. Let them sue me." Paloma looked up at him. Her face was streaked with tears. "Our daughter just asked me if I love her because I'm always leaving. How did we let it get to this point? How did I become the mother who's never there?" "You're being dramatic. She's 4. She doesn't understand. That's the problem. She doesn't understand. And I can't explain it in a way that makes it okay, because it's not okay. None of this is okay." Her partner sat down on the floor next to her. "So what are you saying? You're giving up your career?" "I'm saying I need to stop. For a while. I need to be here. Actually be here. Not just visit between tours. Not just FaceTime at bedtime. Actually present in my daughter's life before she stops believing I love her." "And what about all the people depending on you? The band? The crew? The fans who bought tickets?" Paloma's voice was quiet, broken. I know. I know it's selfish. I know I'm letting people down. But I'm already letting down the most important person. And I can't do that anymore." Paloma didn't cancel the entire tour that day. She couldn't. The legal and financial implications were too severe. But she did something else. Something that would prove to be even more controversial. She got on that plane to Berlin. Did the show. And after the show, she posted something on Instagram that would change everything. It was a video. No makeup, red eyes from crying, still in her stage clothes. Just Paloma, sitting in a dressing room at 2 a.m., speaking directly to camera. "I need to tell you something," she said, her voice hoarse. "And it's not glamorous, it's not inspirational, it's just honest. This morning, my 4-year-old daughter asked me why I always leave, asked me if I love her, and I didn't have a good answer. Because the truth is, I don't know anymore if I'm being a good mother. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know how to balance this career with being the parent I want to be. She paused, wiped her eyes. Everyone tells you that you can have it all, that you can be a successful artist and a present parent, that it's all about balance and time management and having a good support system. But nobody tells you about the guilt, the crushing, constant guilt that follows you everywhere. Nobody tells you that your child will ask if you love them because you're always leaving. Nobody prepares you for that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I have answers. I don't. I'm a mess. I'm failing at both things, failing as an artist because I'm distracted and exhausted, failing as a mother because I'm never there, and I don't know how to fix it. But I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of posting the perfect backstage photos with my daughter and making it look easy. I'm tired of the lie that working mothers can have it all without paying a devastating price. So here's the truth. I'm drowning, and I don't know how to save myself without giving up something I love, either my career or time with my child. And both options feel like dying. She looked directly at the camera. Her eyes were raw, desperate, real. If you're a mother watching this, and you feel the same way, like you're being torn in half, like you're failing at everything, like you can't win no matter what you choose, I see you. You're not alone. And I don't have solutions. But at least we can stop pretending it's fine. At least we can be honest about how hard this is. She ended the video, posted it, and went to bed. When Paloma woke up 6 hours later, her phone was exploding. The video had been viewed 3 million times, and the number was climbing every second. But it wasn't just views. It was comments. Thousands of them. Then tens of thousands. Women pouring their hearts out. Mothers sharing their own guilt, their own struggles, their own impossible choices. I missed my son's first steps because I was in a meeting. I cried in the bathroom for an hour. My daughter said the babysitter is my favorite, and I wanted to die. I gave up my career to stay home, and I resent my children for it. I hate myself for feeling that way, but I do. I kept working, and my kids barely know me. I'm their mother, but I'm not their parent. Thank you for saying this. I thought I was the only one drowning. The media picked it up immediately. But the coverage was split. Half the articles praised Paloma for her honesty, for breaking the silence around working mother guilt, for refusing to perpetuate the supermom myth. The other half destroyed her, called her selfish, said she should have thought about this before having children, accused her of complaining about a privileged life, questioned why she thought her struggle was special when millions of women work and raise children without making videos about it. The criticism was brutal. Privileged pop star can't handle what working class mothers do every day. Maybe Paloma Faith should have stayed focused on music instead of trying to have it all. Rich celebrity crying about being away from her nanny-raised child, spare us. Paloma read every comment, the supportive ones, the cruel ones, all of it. And she felt simultaneously validated and destroyed. 3 days later, Paloma posted a follow-up video. This one was calmer, more measured, but still unflinchingly honest. I've read everything you've written, she said. The supportive messages, the angry ones. And I want to address something. A lot of people are saying I'm privileged to even have this problem. That working-class mothers deal with this every day without complaining. And you're absolutely right. I am privileged. I have resources most mothers don't have. I have nannies and flexibility and financial security, and that makes my struggle easier than what millions of women face. I acknowledge that completely. But here's what I want to say. If I, with all my resources and privilege, am drowning, how much worse is it for mothers who don't have those advantages? If I'm struggling to balance career and motherhood with a nanny and a supportive partner and financial freedom, how impossible must it be for single mothers working 2 jobs, for mothers who can't afford childcare, for mothers who have to choose between paying rent and taking a sick day to care for their child? She leaned forward. My struggle isn't special. It's universal. And the fact that I have privilege and I'm still drowning should tell you how broken the system is. We've built a world where women are expected to work like they don't have children and parent like they don't have jobs. And we're all drowning. Rich and poor, famous and unknown. All of us. So, yes, I'm privileged. But I'm using that privilege to say what millions of women can't say because they'd lose their jobs or be judged or be called bad mothers. Someone needs to say it. So I'm saying it. The system is broken, and we need to stop blaming individual mothers for struggling in a system designed to make us fail. This video went even more viral than the first. 10 million views in 24 hours. News organizations picked it up. Parenting websites wrote think pieces. Political commentators debated it on television. And mothers everywhere started sharing their stories. Not just in comments, everywhere. On social media, in articles, in conversations with their own friends and families. The silence was breaking. The pretense was crumbling. Women were finally saying out loud what they'd been thinking in private for years. This is impossible. We're drowning, and it's not our fault. But the real impact came from an unexpected place. 3 weeks after Paloma's first video, a woman named Chen posted her own video in response. Sarah was a nurse, a single mother of two, working night shifts at a hospital in Manchester. And she'd been following Paloma's story with a mixture of frustration and recognition. I watched Paloma Faith talk about missing her daughter, Sarah said in her video. And part of me was angry, because I don't have the luxury of canceling tours or taking breaks. I work, because if I don't work, my kids don't eat. I miss bedtimes because I'm on a 12-hour shift, not because I'm performing for thousands of people. But then I realized something. Paloma isn't my enemy. The system that makes us both feel like failures, that's the enemy. She's struggling with all her money and resources. I'm struggling with none. And we're both drowning. That should tell you something. Sarah's video went viral too, and it sparked a movement. Mothers from all backgrounds started posting videos. Doctors and teachers and lawyers and retail workers and unemployed mothers and working mothers and stay-at-home mothers, all of them saying the same thing. We're drowning. And we're tired of pretending we're not. A hashtag emerged. Number Motherhood is not fine. Within a week, it was trending worldwide. Within a month, it had spawned petitions for paid parental leave, better childcare support, and workplace flexibility. Politicians started addressing it. Companies started changing policies. And it all started because Paloma Faith's daughter asked a question that millions of children had asked before. But this time, instead of hiding the pain, Paloma spoke it out loud and gave millions of mothers permission to do the same. 6 months later, Paloma did an interview with The Guardian. The journalist asked, "Do you regret posting those videos?" Given the backlash and the attention, Paloma thought for a moment. No, because my daughter's question changed my life, and I think it needed to change. I was living in a way that was unsustainable, pretending I could do everything and be everything and never break. What's different now? I'm still working, still making music, but I've restructured everything. Shorter tours, more breaks. I bring my daughter with me when possible. And when I can't, I FaceTime 3 times a day, minimum. I'm present. Actually present. Not just physically there, but mentally and emotionally available. And do you still feel guilty? Paloma smiled sadly. Every single day. I don't think the guilt ever goes away completely. But now I talk about it. With my partner. With my daughter. With my therapist. I don't carry it alone anymore. And that makes all the difference. What would you say to mothers who are struggling with the same thing? That you're not failing. The system is failing you. And it's okay to say that out loud. It's okay to admit you can't do it all perfectly. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to choose yourself sometimes. It's okay to be human. She paused. And to the daughters out there who are asking, "Mommy, why do you always leave?" Your mother loves you. Even when she's gone. Even when she's distracted. Even when she seems like she's choosing work over you. She loves you more than anything. She's just trapped in a system that makes her choose. And that's not her fault. That's not your fault. That's just the reality we're all trying to survive. Today, Paloma Faith's daughter is 7 years old enough now to understand a little better. Old enough to know that Mummy's job is singing and traveling. Old enough to be proud of her mother's work instead of confused by it. But Paloma never forgot that morning, that question. The way her world had shattered and rebuilt itself in the span of 4 words. She keeps a note on her phone, a reminder she looks at every day before she makes a decision about work. Why do you always leave? Don't you love me? It's not a guilt trip. It's a compass, a reminder of what matters, a check against the constant pressure to do more, be more, achieve more. Because here's what Paloma learned. You can have a career and children, but you can't have both without sacrifice, without compromise, without constant, painful choices. And anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. The question isn't whether you'll struggle, it's whether you'll be honest about the struggle, whether you'll ask for help, whether you'll admit that this is impossible and demand that the world change instead of blaming yourself for not being superhuman. Paloma Faith's daughter asked one question, and that question broke something open, not just in Paloma, in millions of mothers who'd been carrying the same weight, the same guilt, the same impossible burden. And for the first time, they said it out loud. We're drowning, and we need help. And that's not weakness, that's honesty. The system hasn't changed enough. Not yet. Mothers are still choosing between careers and children, still carrying crushing guilt, still drowning in expectations that no human could meet. But the silence has broken, the pretense has crumbled, and mothers everywhere are finally saying what Paloma said. This is not fine. We are not fine. And we're done pretending. That's not a solution. But it's a start. And it all began with a 4-year-old girl in pajamas, holding a stuffed rabbit, asking the question that every working mother dreads. Mummy, why do you always leave? Don't you love me? The answer, of course, is yes. Yes, with every fiber of her being. Yes, so much it physically hurts. Yes, even when leaving. Yes, even when choosing work. Yes, even when failing. Yes, always. Impossibly. Devastatingly. Yes. But love isn't always enough. Not in a world that makes mothers choose. Not in a system that demands superhuman sacrifice. Not in a reality where being a good mother and a successful professional feels mutually exclusive. Paloma Faith learned that the hard way, and then she shared it with the world. Not because she had answers, because she finally admitted she didn't. And sometimes, that honesty, that raw, unfiltered admission of struggle, is more powerful than any solution, because it tells millions of drowning mothers, you're not alone, you're not failing, you're just human. And being human in an impossible system isn't failure, it's survival.